Hi guys, Saku wants to fight here, so finally we get to move on to the Souls game. Wrong Souls game, kids. Oh, shut up. Soul Calibur is one of the most revered 3D weapons fighter that was developed and published by Namco, and it offers so much enjoyability from its gameplay right up to the array of cast of characters that are really special in my heart. I personally dig the aesthetic of this game series as a whole, the 8-way movement, the graphics, and of course how well the game really plays since its first iteration on the Dreamcast around 1999. If I had a list of 3D fighter series I would put on my top 5, Soul Calibur would be at least third under Virtua Fighter and Tobal number 1. And now I've finally got a copy of Soul Calibur. Hold it, Saku. We ain't reviewing Soul Calibur, bruv. The fuck? Dave, how did you get out your cage? Never mind that. Your copy of Soul Calibur 1 ain't in the post yet. Then why did you wake me up to make this video? There's a 7th game you ignored. Soul Blade. Soul Blade? Dave, surely you mean Soul Edge, right? Bruv, we don't live in Japan. It's Soul Blade over here. Well, looks like we're reviewing Soul Blade for the PlayStation, the predecessor to the Soul Calibur series. Will the game be any good? Let's find out.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of soul and swords, eternally retold.
Soul Blade, published and developed by Namco in 1996 for the System 11 arcade system before receiving a subsequent version, being version 2 in the same year, before receiving a port for the PlayStation in 1997. Like Soul Calibur, it is a 3D weapons fighter, and that is all you need to know. But let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, the control setup uses 4 buttons like the first 2 Tekken games, but instead of the buttons being assigned to a limb, they are as followed. X is block, square is horizontal attack, triangle is vertical attack, and circle is kick. Like, this has been pretty much the same setup for majority of the Soul Calibur games, like after Soul Blade, and has not changed since then. The only difference is the movement, because like the first two Tekken games, it is fixated on a 2D plane, with the fighters moving in a fixed 2D movement left and right, with the addition of a supposed 8-way movement. The characters can sidestep by double tapping down to move to the foreground, or tapping down and then up to the background, which is weird for me because I tried double tapping up and it kind of makes me jump, and I feel when I jump it is somewhat really unnecessary because of how floaty it really is. And if you've seen my Battle Arena Toshinden videos, this is one of the many things of that game that pisses me off, and frankly it kinda pisses me off here. Graphically, you expect no different from the PlayStation, but in terms of character design, they are actually pretty good, and overall not ugly for all its 32-bit polygonal glory. Now, the rings, they are very interesting, especially in terms of background, because each ranging from different areas where you can end up battling on grasslands right up to fighting on a raft floating down the river. And the fact that it's a technical marvel and it pushes the hardware capabilities of the PlayStation, that the downfall that it runs at a 30 frame per second, which isn't actually bad if you've played it on an official hardware. It may be bad for most people nowadays because they want faster frames per second, but for something that is a technical marvel that runs at 30 frames per second, it's not bad. But then again, you got to take in consideration for most games back then on the system, it was kind of normal, and that is fine. Now, for the game itself, gameplay wise, the game is fought on a square ring which is 18 meters all around. The aim in these fights is to win by knockout, timeout or ring out. Also, the game has something under the health bar, which is the weapon resistant gauge, which when blocking decreases each time after every successful blocking, and if the bar is emptied, the character would lose their weapon and would be forced to end the match unarmed, which personally offers a lot of edge to fight unarmed. And you know, saying this, it kind of reminds me of the Samurai Showdown games where you drop the weapon and you have to learn to fight without it, using mostly punches and kicks. Now, as for the game modes, you have arcade, which is pretty much standard, and as usual you go through 10 stages in order to beat the game under a certain time limit. Once beating Cervantes, you end up fighting Soul Edge, who is a complete fucking bastard to face. At first anyway. Because he can do the absolute most bullshit moves, which really pisses me off, and it really fucking does, because he can do a lot of bullshit moves that can take down half your fucking health in a matter of seconds before you get a chance to block. Or attack for that matter. But after playing it with Taki, I kind of found a way to deal with Soul Edge in the most cheapest of ways. Like, always in every other fighter I've reviewed for the system, you have a standard versus, time attack, survival, training mode, and a mode called Edge Master mode, which is a RPG story-like mode where you go through area to area, fighting opponents to unlock weapons. However, in this mode, you have to perform certain criteria to unlock new weapons, so to say. I found this mode to be quite fun, and it does offer a lot of replayability. And when it comes to the roster, there are 10 characters with each with 3 costumes and a unique weapon, and they are pretty much fun to play with, although it's kind of a massive shame that my girl Shanghua is not in the game, which really kind of gets to me a little bit, because when I play any of the Soul games, I always pick Shanghua, and her not being in Soul Blade is a really massive fucking crime. But that's a good thing her appearance comes around in the first Soul Calibur game. So Namco, you are off the hook. But also saying that, in that same vein, characters like Mitsurugi, Taki, Song Mina are in this game. And that is fine, because when it comes to Soul Calibur, outside of Shanghua, if I'm not playing her, I usually play Taki anyway. But that also being said, that there is a 11th unlockable character being Soul Edge, who I recall calling a bit of a bastard who will take down half your health. Well, he can be unlocked by clearing arcade or time attack modes with each of the first 10 characters, only using their primary weapons. Now, should you play Soul Blade? Personally, yes. I never disliked the game back then, and I don't dislike it now. Sure, there are a few glaring issues that I have with this game, being the movement and jumping, but other than that, the game is decent for what it is, and damn, it's a really first good entry for a 3D weapon fighter that isn't Battle Arena Toshinden, that's for sure. And heck, it's even better than any of the Battle Arena Toshinden games, which is a definite sure. The premise of this game for what will become the Soul Calibur games, improve the movement in a full 3D 8-way movement, which makes it a hell of a lot better and more adaptable with decent combat. And for what it is worth, despite it being the first of its kind and, well, a bit clunky to some extent, I think Soul Blade is a good game. Now, the copies of PAL versions can vary from £5 to £20 depending on the condition of the copy, and if you can't buy a copy, emulate that shit right now. Fucking do it. Fucking emulate it now, you cunts. Anyway, I've been Saku. Remember to like, comment and subscribe if you so choose to. Again, I've been Saku. Fuck off.
Hmm. どうしたものか。元通りにできればいいが、やってみるか。4、3、